Hello YouTube, Empathy Relics here, and today I'm bringing you guys a commentary telling you guys my thoughts and impressions on the Battlefield 1 beta thus far. So, as of right now, I think I'm like level 15, maybe a little bit less. I've only played it for a couple of nights, and yeah, so just basically going to tell you guys what I think, whether or not I'll be getting Battlefield 1, and giving you guys the whole rundown and whatnot. So the gameplay in the background probably won't just be one set game, it'll probably be just highlights of a bunch of games chucked together, because Battlefield isn't the most entertaining game to watch on YouTube, let's be honest. It can get quite slow at times, and even in games where I do really well, there's going to be moments of like a minute plus where I'm not involved in anything, not getting any kills, not seeing any enemies, especially on this map, but I'll get to that later. So, for those of you who don't know, the Battlefield 1 beta is out now. You can download it for free on the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store or whatever, PC as well. And it lasts till Thursday, I believe. So, you get, what, a week, basically, to play the beta, which is great. And, yeah, so I recommend downloading it if you haven't already, just to try it out, even if you've never played a Battlefield game before. So first of all, let's talk about the map. So I don't know the name of the map, don't really take notice of it, but there's only one map, and that's not very good, I think, in my opinion. So they had the map that was used in the alpha, where we saw all the gameplay for, and I respect their decision not to include that, because, you know, we've already seen gameplay of that. But if they didn't want to show off too many of the maps in the game, which I get, it's a beta, you don't want to, like, you know, give people access to absolutely everything. You just want to give them a taste of the game, so they can buy the whole thing. It's like trying wine, you only want to give people a sip so they can buy a whole bottle. And, you know, one map isn't enough, especially for a week-long beta. Now, they might add another map soon, but even if they add it like on Saturday or Sunday, especially Sunday, it's probably going to be too late. But if they didn't want to show off too much of the game, why didn't they just include the map from the alpha, right? Because when only a very small portion of people got to play the alpha, like basically only celebrities and stuff. So, you know, for the general public, no one got to experience that map. Like, yeah, we got to watch gameplay of it, but we didn't get to play it. So I think it couldn't have hurt having that map included in the beta as well, just to mix it up a little bit. And the actual map that was selected for the beta, I'm hoping is one of the not so good maps in the game. Like, it's not a bad map, I don't hate it, but it's not really a map that I love. And I'm kind of fussy with Battlefield maps. I like more like close quarter maps, you know, that rely on gunplay more so than vehicles. This map is kind of the opposite. I won't say it relies on vehicles. I don't really think that Battlefield 1 in general, from what I've seen of it, is too vehicle reliant, like no more than any other Battlefield game. But, you know, this map, it's very difficult to get around, because it's so big, especially if you want to get to the objective E point in Conquest. It's just so far away from everything. And, you know, if you don't have a horse or a vehicle or a tank or whatever, even tanks are slow, but if you don't have a vehicle of some kind, it just makes getting around the map not so good. It just takes way too long to get around the map. So the map's a bit big for my liking. It's not massive, but it is pretty big. And there aren't a lot of close quarter combat situations on the map. Now, around the sea conquest area, there is, and, you know, that's fine. But I would have liked to have seen another map of some kind that was, you know, a little less open, because this map is definitely a great map for sniping. But, you know, like, for more of a running gun, submachine gun play, it kind of lacks, I think. Which, you know, you want to try and get a map that's going to cater to all game styles. This map kind of does, but it's probably a little bit more open than it should be. So I do hope that they don't believe that this map is the best map in Battlefield 1, but I don't know, I don't think it is. So the map, you know, it's okay. It's not a great map, it's not a bad map. I enjoy playing on it, but I can imagine that by the end of the beta I'll be quite sick of it. So let's get to the connection. So lots of people have been complaining about the connection, and I can see why. I haven't experienced massive connection issues so far, but a lot of people have. And you know, when this kind of thing happens, you gotta respect everyone's opinion, and the majority of people have been having problems with the connection. So that is one kind of concerning thing. Like, obviously it's still a beta, it's not the full game, but you know, when the beta is coming out, just what, 2 months before the actual game's coming out, you want it to be running quite smoothly, and it isn't running smoothly. When you go to the options and stuff, for me at least, it's really laggy. Like, it takes maybe 5 to 10 seconds to respond sometimes. And you know, if you get frustrated and like spam buttons, it does all those buttons in order, and it just takes forever. It's so slow to try and change it on the options, and just like to leave games and stuff. It's really slow. And you know, on a few servers I found it to be quite laggy at times, and it is a little bit buggy as well. Like, there was one time, I'll see if I can get the actual moment where it happened up on the screen. It was one time when I was driving around in this vehicle, and then with my friend, and all of a sudden we disappeared. I didn't exit out of the vehicle or anything. It just forced me out of the vehicle, and the vehicle's fucking gone. So don't know what the fuck happened there, but that was quite trippy. And you know, there have been a few bugs in that, but you kind of expect that with a beta, especially a Battlefield game. Like, it's not a COD game, it's not a really small map or anything where most things can be controlled. You know, Battlefield is kind of big. And one thing that I don't like about the map that they selected as well is, in the alpha they kind of showed like how every single game is a different game because of the way the Battlefield changes. They had the big what's it called? Zeppelin? I don't know if it's a Zeppelin. I don't know if that's the right word. But the big fucking flying balloon, basically. Well, it's not really a balloon, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And that would like crash onto an area of the map, and then leave this massive crater. And you know, if buildings got destroyed, you know, it changed the layout of the map. Now this map isn't really like that. Like, yeah, you can destroy buildings and stuff, but it's not really a map where the environment is affected to a point where it makes it feel like a different map each time you play it. Like, I guess no map is really like that, but it's not like that at all, this particular map. As for the whole World War I aesthetic, I think they've nailed it. I'm assuming there's still more stuff that's gonna come out. Like, obviously there are no weapon attachments in the beta, but I imagine that there might be a larger selection of things to pick from, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, maybe more gadgets and whatnot. But you know, the World War I aesthetic's great. I was concerned whether the guns would just be too hard to use, like too much recoil and all that, but really it's not that bad. It's nowhere near as bad as I thought it would be for it. So that's good. So if you're a fan of you know, the shooting aspects of Battlefield, and you're worried that the guns just might have a bit too much kick, or the sights a bit too bad or whatnot, and you just think it would detract from the gameplay and not make it as fun, you'll be glad to hear that that's not the case. And the game graphically is beautiful. The map in particular, for the beta, is very good, because generally sand maps don't look that good in games, but this map Looks stunning. Especially when the sandstorm comes in. It's got really good effects. I hate it when the sandstorm comes in, but it looks good. And the explosion effects, the flamethrower effects, and all that is really top notch. They've really improved from Hardline in my opinion. I think graphically it's far superior to what Battlefield Hardline was. And yeah, the vehicle warfare is fun, but I gotta say I'm not really a fan of vehicle warfare in general, and in this game it's even worse, or less enjoyable for me, because everything's a lot slower, and that is quite annoying. But what else is there to talk? I think the 4 classes are quite good. I haven't really experimented with them. I've used Assault and I think it's Scout or something for the Sniper. And, you know, they've both been good. The Sniper that I've been using is quite fun to use. I haven't really sniped much in Battlefield of recent, especially on the PS4. I used to snipe a lot back in the day, but I haven't really sniped too much, but in this game I've mucked around with a sniper a little bit, and it's a really good map for sniping, so it's just hard getting used to the bullet drop in that when you don't snipe it that much. But yeah, so far the beta is good when it's working, when it's not too laggy, and the menus and stuff are really unresponsive. You know, when it's working, it's good. Another complaint I have is joining friends. You can't squad up. You have to like join a friend's game, and sometimes you can't join friends' games and whatnot. It's kind of weird how that works. It's more difficult than it needs to be. It should be a lot easier than it is at this current stage. But so far I'm impressed with the beta. Obviously I've only played a little bit. I do plan on playing way more, and I might make another video after I've played more of it, and maybe when the beta is about to finish, talking about my thoughts. But yeah, if you haven't got it, I'd definitely recommend downloading it and trying it. Will I be getting Battlefield 1? I won't be pre-ordering it. I know that. I might get it Christmas time. I don't know, it depends. So I'm going to be quite busy once I finish school, which is basically the same time as Battlefield 1 comes out. I finish school just a few weeks after. But I don't know, I definitely want to get it because I'm not getting Infinite Warfare, and until COD 4 comes standalone, which I imagine is going to be quite a few months, I won't have a first person shooter to play. And you know, I'd rather be playing a Battlefield game that has most of the community playing it rather than playing Hardline and Battlefield 4. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. Hopefully it wasn't too finicky. It was kind of good though, because since it's all on the same map, I can just chuck different gameplays together, and you can almost blend it in to be one game, except obviously if I'm using a different weapon. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know by leaving a like or a dislike if you want to see more Battlefield content. It's not going to be like a regular thing, as active as I was with Black Ops 3 or whatnot, but you know, I might just make a couple more videos on it. And yeah, I do have a few gameplays that I might upload with commentary talking about my history in Battlefield or whatever. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.